How to Sell More Whiskey, Part 2. This is the second video in a 3-part series designed to help distillery owners sell more whiskey. If you haven't watched Part 1, which is all about the mindset that you need to sell a lot more whiskey, I'll put a link in the description. You should definitely go watch that first. It's not something you want to skip past. This video is all about how to sell directly to consumers, which is a critical part of selling more whiskey. If you want to be successful selling whiskey or any other kind of spirits, you really have to follow a formula, a pattern, if you will. And on the screen, I've put this little pyramid, and let's talk about it for a second. It's very, very important that you think of this pyramid as a foundation upon which you build. You don't need to do all three at once. What you need to do is do each one in order, optimize it as much as possible before going on to the next thing. So if you look at this pyramid, I have 3 tier at the top. You shouldn't even be messing with the 3-tier world at all until you fully optimize the 2 levels below it. So this starts with your tasting facility, the sales that you make on site, your clubs and events and all of that. You obviously have to maximize your foot traffic and sell as much as you can when people come to your distillery. But this next level needs your full attention and needs to be fully optimized before you go on to the 3-tier world. And this is all about optimizing direct-to-consumer sales and e-commerce sales, and I'm going to get into this right now. Now, one of the first things I want you to do is make a short list of all the whiskey distilleries that you admire most and go look at their website. I want you to really study their website when it comes to the little navigation button that says buy now or buy online or find us. Really explore all of that because your eyes are going to really open to what other people are doing. And I'm going to put a list up here on the screen of some of the things you're likely to find. Now, before I dive into this list, I want to mention the question always comes up, well, how many states are there where I can sell my product direct to consumer? Well, if you're talking about the combination of things and ordering online or using a delivery service or using a third-party platform from another retailer, there's about 30 states where you can do this. Now, I'm not a qualified legal expert. I cannot give you legal advice. I can only show you what other people are doing, and I encourage you to get your own legal advice. There's plenty of people out there who specialize in this for the alcohol industry. Also, I'm about to show in a few minutes some of the best third-party companies that can help you do this, and they are great resources for overcoming all the legal hurdles as well. But let's talk about this list that's up on the screen. So these are some of the ways that you can fulfill orders to a consumer. The Buy Now button is very important. It can also be the title of your larger menu where you list all the ways to buy. It can also be place an order online, direct to consumer e-commerce. And this is, you need a third party to fulfill this. I'm going to talk about this next. But this is one of the options. You're just placing an order on your website. Every distillery needs to be able to do this. Your competitors are doing it. The next thing is find online. This means that there's retailers and third-party platforms all around the country where your product is listed for sale, and you want to be able to point people to that depending on the state they're in. So this is an important feature to have on your website to direct people where to go to buy your product online. There are some distilleries, but that's all they do. They don't do any of their own order fulfillment. They just outsource it to a short list of third-party retailers who can process the order online. This is very popular. I'm suggesting you make that one of many options and not rely solely on that. You also want to have a list of all the stores near you, and that's not near your distillery, it's near you, the consumer. The consumer comes to your website and they see stores near you and they click on it and they put in their zip code and it shows them all the stores near them that have your product, both on-premise and off. You must have this on your website as well. So yeah, it takes a little configuring and you might need to bring in a website expert, but this is so essential. People need to know where to buy your product. Next is delivery. Thanks to Drizzly, in most states around the country, it's legal for consumers to come to your website, choose Drizzly, choose where they live, and place the order, and Drizzly will get it to them. This is very, very important. There's plenty of people at Drizzly who can talk to you about how to do this. Then you have pickup. You want to be able to have people place an order online and swing by the distillery to pick it up. Don't leave this part out because some people just really prefer that. As uncomfortable as you might be on the legal hurdles of shipping direct to consumer, many consumers are reluctant to place orders online, and they're going to want to go to your distillery to pick it up. And the last piece is international. You'd be surprised how many small distilleries are selling internationally. You should go study what they're doing and go do likewise. So I've got, 6 things on this screen. You need to be doing all 6 if possible if you want to sell lots of whiskey. Okay, so let's talk about some of the third-party software providers who are standing by to help you sell all of your whiskey. I've got some of the more popular ones listed here on the screen. There are others too. I encourage you to shop around. I will tell you that there's a level of expertise that these companies have that could really help you sell a lot more. So they're all going to be willing to talk to you. And it's also useful when you're going to do the research on your competitors' websites. It's pretty easy to tell which of these software companies they're using to help with DTC. So I would spend a little time visiting with them, talking to them, seeing what your competitors are using, maybe even getting onto a forum where you can get some advice. But take your time, make a good choice. But no matter which of these companies you choose, you're going to be way ahead of your competitors by fully implementing this opportunity to sell to consumers online. Okay, so you've done your homework and your website is fully optimized to serve consumers and take orders online or tell them where to buy or to send them to a third-party platform. Now it's time to engage in driving traffic to your website. So I want to talk a little bit about this because just because you have these capabilities on your website or because you're leveraging a third party does not mean you're going to get the traffic you need to generate orders. So let's talk about the various ways to drive traffic. If you want to be successful selling whiskey direct to consumer, you must master email marketing. Email marketing is so important because it allows you to build relationships with your customers and put orders in front of them. It's one of the lowest cost, highest return ways to do this. I'm going to put up on the screen here the 7 reasons that email marketing should be the top tier of your marketing and sales strategy. The first thing is this is first-party data. This is data you own that you've collected, and it cannot be taken away from you. When you build audiences on social media platforms, who knows what might happen if your account gets suspended or they change the algorithm. It's really hard to build your house on rented land like that. So having all the data that belongs to you is key and extremely valuable. Number 2, the inbox is a level playing field. You can reach the average consumer's inbox just as easily as Jack Daniels can. So this is a powerful thing to think about, the power of being able to slide into somebody's inbox. Number 3, you can speak directly to consumers. You can speak directly to trade buyers. You can even speak directly to distributor salespeople if you want. This is so powerful to be able to speak directly. And don't believe the lies that nobody reads email. When people think negatively of email, they're thinking about spam, right? And getting too many emails and getting irrelevant emails. Well, you're not going to be sending out irrelevant emails. You're going to be sending out emails to your fans who want to hear from you, giving them valuable content. So this ability to speak directly with them and build relationships is key. The 4th thing on this list is that you can collect a lot more data. When you first enroll someone to your email list, it really should be as few fields as possible. For example, first name and email address, that's it. You can get all that other information later. Their birth date, their zip code, the preferences of the products that they have. This data you can get later. But the beautiful thing is as you're collecting more of this rich data, there it is in your email software provider. So this extra data is going to come in handy in a lot of ways later, especially if you're going to advertise. Being able to upload those customer lists to Facebook or Google and use it as a custom audience and get lookalikes, this is extremely powerful. So you want all that rich data. Number 5 reason I love email is it's one of the lowest cost, highest return ways to sell and market your products. You can also measure this really easily, which is number 6 on this list. You can tell who opened it, what's my open rate, what's my click-through rate, how many sales did I make on that last campaign, what's my cost of acquiring a new email subscriber. This really makes the road much smoother for you as you're trying to sell more product. And the last thing is it's infinitely scalable. It takes no more effort to send an email or set up an automation for 10 people as it does 1,000 people or 10,000 people. I love the scalability of email. So if you're all set up to sell online and you want to get serious, you must master this email marketing. Take my word for it. Now that you know and hopefully are embracing the importance of email marketing, let's talk about some of the other things you need to do to drive traffic to your website. Well, one of the first things you want to do is grow that email list continuously, and there's several ways to do that. One is to make sure your website has a prominent place to join your email list, and it's super easy to do. Sometimes a little pop-up will help. There's two best practices for pop-ups when it comes to enrolling new people on your email list. One is to wait 15 seconds before you show the pop-up, and the other is to only show the pop-up to new visitors. This is a great way to do this. It will work 24/7 to enroll new subscribers. I already mentioned that you only want to collect 2 fields on that pop-up, the first name and the email address. That would be wise. You can always go back later and get the other information. Another way to enroll more people to your email list is engage in lead generation, using lead magnets, which is some kind of a checklist or a guide or a how-to or a shopper's guide that people want to get their hands on in exchange for their email address. I don't have time in this video to go into exactly how to do that, but this is powerful stuff. And the minute you start thinking about lead magnets, you'll see them everywhere on your social media feeds. People offering free this or free that, or download our guide, or these sorts of shopper's guides. Very, very powerful stuff. Another great way to enroll more people to your email list, which you'll use to get more traffic to your website, is doing live webinars. Now, this works great for the trade and also for consumers. Some kind of interactive tasting or some kind of educational thing, or meet the distiller. There's all kinds of things that you can do. But the beautiful thing about webinars is people have to register to attend, and when they register, you're getting their contact information, including their email address. Now, obviously, social media plays an important role in getting traffic to your website. I just want to caution you as you're curating your social feeds that it's not just too self-promoting. What people want to see on your social feeds is what is it like to work at your distillery, visit your distillery, go there to enjoy your products. They want to see themselves living vicariously through the social feeds. So don't be too self-promoting. You can really build quite an organic following this way, and then every once in a while put a post that says, are you on our email list? If not, you're missing out. Click the link in our bio to join our email list. Things like that. So this is a very important. As you can see, all roads lead back to email, because that's where you're going to be able to put offers in front of people. This is so important to combine all of these strategies. And the last thing I want to talk about here is paid ads. Now, I'm not talking about boosting posts. I'm talking about real Facebook and Instagram ads or real Google ads. Very often you need to get an expert to help you with this because it's changing all the time. But paid ads can really be a powerful way to get traffic to your website, increase your orders. But you really have to track your numbers. And I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I'll just say a few things about paid ads. You need to establish a budget of what you're going to spend, and then you need to study the ROI. And so let's say you commit to spending $500 a month on ads, but you can prove that it has helped you sell $1,000 worth of whiskey. That's not the ideal ratio of spending $500 to make $1,000, but it's a good start. From there you can begin tweaking. You need to know what it costs you to sell a bottle of whiskey through your advertising, and so you really want to nail down all of the ROI. Most of these platforms like Google and Facebook, they have lots of great metrics that will help you dial in your cost per result. I hope this video has been valuable to you. I don't see a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about this stuff, so feel free to come back and watch this again, take some notes. If you got value from this video, please click the like button, and we'd love it if you would subscribe. Now, what you saw today is really just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that I could teach you if you want me to. And one of the great next steps is for you to check out our group coaching program. It's a very affordable but powerful way to get everything you need to sell more product. It's called winesalesstimulator.com. I'll put the web address right here on the screen. Check it out, explore the program, and by all means, let me know if you have questions. Now, don't miss part 3 coming up, which is all about how to have success in the 3-tier world.